Hi guys, I'm Tanya Holben and I'm doing this video for my long 19th century European history class. The purpose of the next few vlogs that I will be posting is to explain women revolutionaries in the 19th century and how they impacted not just women's rights, but also the average poor citizen in their fight for equality and justice against those who tried to suppress them. For the first time periods that we have been learning about, from about 1789 to 1830, Europe found itself in a large amount of change that included new political ideologies that spread throughout the country. As we learned in class, during the year of 1789, a constitutional-like document was created called the Declaration of the Rights of Men. Within this document, it states that men are all equal and have rights that cannot be denied to them. They were given civil rights. Some examples include the right to property, liberty, and resistance to oppression. This was a huge step in the way of moving from a monarchy to democracy, but what was unsaid is that this only applied to certain commoners and did not apply to all men, and certainly not women. Although at this time women were given a few rights such as inheritance and divorce, the Declaration hardly applied to them, even though they fought alongside with men for the same purposes. The female revolutionary that I would like to explain in detail goes by the name of Olympe De Gouges. This woman was known for thinking outside the box and for pushing traditional boundaries set by the monarchy and religion at the time. Olympe was a prolific writer and advocate of human rights. She focused mostly on playwrights, even though at the time women were not technically allowed to produce their own to the public. Many scholars agreed that she has not received adequate attention to what she had done to further the rights of all people. Although Olympe has famous plays and books, she is mostly known for her published work named the Declaration of the Rights of Women. The Declaration of the Rights of Women was her answer to women not being included in the Declaration of the Rights of Men. She believed that women were constantly stuck in a cycle of unhappiness and abuse by husbands in society. She stated the reason for this was low pay of work for women plus lack of job opportunities and poor education, which forced them into unwanted marriages and pregnancies, or onto the streets as prostitutes. She acknowledged that poor education was the reason why women were unable to succeed in the way men did at the time, and women around the country used political advocacy to pursue the rights they deserved. One quote of De Gouges that speaks highly of her character and motivation is, "If women are ready to back me up, it is my desire that in future centuries their names be seen next to that of the greatest men." She wanted women to be known for more than a man's sidekick and for them to stand up for what they believed in, to become more for those who came after. She not only challenged traditions, but also the idea that political and human rights only applied to men. A quote within her declaration speaks highly of which she believed in concerning equality between men and women. "Woman is born, and her rights are the same as those of men. The law must be an expression of the general will. All citizens, men and women alike, must participate in making it. It must be the same for all. All citizens, be they men or women, are equal in its eyes, must be equally eligible for all public offices, positions, and jobs." To further explain and go into depth about what this quote means, she is stating that men and women were both born free and should be considered so. The only thing that should set the two apart when applying for the same positions is what kind of talents and experiences they have that may differ, not simply based on gender. Some of the rights that are outlined in the Declaration of the Rights of Women are the right to liberty, property, resistance to oppression, and the right to participate in the making of laws, and to voice their opinions in public. All of these rights equal to men and based on what men received in the Declaration of the Rights of Men. Unfortunately, De Gouges was beheaded for her activism and for protesting. She died for what she believed and continued speaking until the day she died. After the research I have done on her, and her works she has completed, it is certain that there is a lesson to be learned from Olympe De Gouges. Fight for what you believe and don't back down just because others say you can't. If Olympe did not or was not a part of the women revolutionaries at the time, history could have been changed and lessons could not have been learned from her. Thank you.